Hey guys, today we're doing Unit 8, Lesson 9. We're still working with stats and the measures of variability. Remember, we're just looking at like the spread of data means all the numbers in the data, how it spreads out. The range is super easy. It's just subtracting your lowest data number out of your biggest, whatever the biggest one. So in this range or this spread, you have 41 is the largest and 35 is the smallest. So you just subtract 35 from 41. The range is 6. The outlier is the one that just kind of doesn't fit. So pretend we have these numbers here and then we had like a 7 way over here. That outlier just doesn't fit. It's really far away from these numbers, 35, 39, 40, 40. And 41. You could even have an outlier way over here, and that just kind of messes up your data a little bit. So sometimes you include the outlier and sometimes you exclude the outlier. So for 6th grade math, we're going to do it both ways each time. So all you do is, if you're going to include the outlier, you would subtract 41. You would subtract 7 from 41. And if you were to exclude it, you would subtract 35 from 41. It's that easy. Okay, so here we have our first input model. The statistical question is, what were the students' scores on Friday's science test? The test had 50 questions. So 50 was the highest they could get, and it looks like someone got a 10. So our range is going to go from 10 to 50. That 10 right there is going to be our outlier. So graph, label, and describe the shape of the line plot. So we've done that before. So my numbers need to go from 10 being the smallest all the way up to 50. And I'm going to pause while I do that real quick. Okay, so you can see I went ahead and I numbered all of the line that I needed. I didn't take the time to put those numbers there, but that is from 11 to 28 there. And as I put my X's down, as I plotted these, I made sure I crossed them off. So you can see the shape of this. It's pointing left, so it's left skewed with outlier. Now for this one, it would be more uniform if I didn't have the outlier there, but in my opinion, it's still left skewed. But sometimes it can really change based on the outlier. So now we graph, we label, and we describe the shape of the line plot. So now all I have to do is find the range. My biggest number is 50. If I subtract the outlier, it's going to be the spread. The spread is 40. So that was 40, including the outlier, because I included this number. If I choose to exclude, leave out the outlier, it would be 50 minus my next smallest number is 29. So that's what, 19? I think, or 21, let's see. Let me just do the math because I can't think. Oh, 21, good thing I did the math. So the spread, and you need both of these in your answer, is 21 excluding the outlier. Because in this one, I chose this as my smallest number, and I did not choose the outlier. That's just kind of out there all by himself. Okay? Okay, I want you to pause this and try to do this page on your own. And if you need to, go back and just look at what I just taught you. It's the same exact thing. So this one is, how many hours per week on average do the students in the third period at class art class at Jefferson Middle School exercise. There are their answers. Graph, label, and describe the shape of the line plot. So you're going to draw your line. You're going to need to include numbers from 2 to 12, it looks like. Then plot each data point. Then trace the outline of the data. And then describe the shape. Then down here, you're going to do the range, including the outlier and excluding. So go ahead and pause that, work on it, and then come back and see if you got it right. Okay, so I went ahead and I drew my number line to include the points up here. So I've got from 2 to 12, and now all I'm going to do is graph those points or plot those points. So I have 1, 2, I have a 7, I have a 9, I have 2 12s, I have 2 8s, I have a 5, and I have a 7, and I have a 3. So the shape on this one is more of a bell. This one actually does not have an outlier because the 2 isn't all by itself. So this is a bell shape, or it looks like a little hill. And then to find the range, it's going to just be 1 because there's no outlier. So I'm just going to take 12 minus 2, which is the largest and the smallest. That gives me 10. And I'm going to say the spread has a range of 10. Okay, if you still are confused, go back and re-watch this and then take your little quiz. That should be right after this. Okay, guys, this is the easy stuff. We are almost finished with statistics. Stats is super easy.